Okay, so now I'm going to tie another of the most iconic salmon flies of the modern era, and this is the park shrimp. So I have in here a size 8 partridge. I think this is a Nordic double. So I'm going to use a fire orange UTC thread. I'm going to use some gold oval tinsel. Tie that in on top and take it back to the point where I'm meant to make a tag. And take 3 turns backwards, come up between the legs of the double and tie that off. Give it a bit of a tug just to tighten it up. Now, this fly has 3 parts to its tail. I'm going to use Arctic Runner for the tail. I'm taking a bunch of orange, hot orange. What I'm going to do is pull out the yard hairs out because I actually want the under fur on this one. I'm going to split that into 2 and leave one little bunch safely down beside me. I want a bunch, the first part of the tail I want to be about the length of the body-ish, so I'm going to tie that in there. You note I'm not tying it back here, I'm tying it in forward of where I want the tail actually to be tied in. I'll show you the reason for that in a minute. Next I'm going to take a bit of yellow Arctic Runner, or I suppose this is a sunburst yellow. Cut a bunch of that out, and on this one I do want the length, so I'm going to strip out the shorter fibres from this one. I'm going to take that down until I have as much as I want. The yellow portion is going to be slightly longer than the orange, and how much longer is up to yourself, personal preference. I'm just going to get some purely yard hairs just to get that little bit of extra length there. Tie that in. I'm going to cut off this, but you see as I lift it up I'm going to cut at an angle, and that will taper the loose ends for me. And I want to add a bit of flash, so here I'm going to use a Mirage, an orange Mirage crinkle. You can use crystal here, you can use whatever you want. Set it in the length of the tail and double it back on itself, and then cut that other one off the same length. Now I'm going to use the other little bit of orange that I had left, and I'm going to match it up to the same length as the underneath bunch. And now as I tie in, I'm going to hold my tail and go backwards to the point of the gold tinsel. And the reason I did that was because if you did it all here you'd end up with a bit of a lump. So this is just a way of creating a more smooth taper to the body. I'm going to cut that base ends off there. Now I want to take a dubbing needle, tap a bit of super glue to that and a little bit of super glue just across those cut ends, and then I'm going to wrap forward, and that makes a nice smooth base for my body to be tied on. So we want a bit of flash in the wing portion as well. So what I'm going to do here is use another bit of Mirage, and I'm going to tie that in at the front, pointing forward, leaving a couple of inches, which is longer than what I need, but I'm going to take this back, and you'll see in a second that I'm going to use that to rib my fly, and it'll also create the flash in the wing. So the body on this one, I've got some gold light braid. I take a little bunch of that, I apply it to my silk, and I wrap it, twist it around itself to make a dubbing rope. So starting at the rear of the fly, to make a bit more than half of the body out of that, and the other bit of the body I'm going to dub with a bit of black fox, the same as what the wing is going to be produced. So I'm going to put a bunch of that on, and again twist it on to make double. Now that's the body. So now we're going to use this strand of mirage that I had tied in at the back as the rib. Take that forward, equal turns, and when I get to the front, I'm going to tie it on, or tie it off, sorry, but I'm tying it off on the top, so I now have two strands of this which I pull back on themselves, and that will give me two strands of flash underneath my wing. I take that back to about halfway up the orange portion and cut it off. For the wing I'm going to use this, which is a black fox mask, because the hair that you get just on the crest of the head is very good quality. I'm going to take a little bunch out of there, strip out the waist under fur. I'm going to measure that up. Again, I want to take that not fully the length of the orange. I'm going to swap hands and trim that to length. Then if I take this, hold it tight, take my dubbing needle, tiny little dab of super glue into that, and apply it up to the hook, and before it dries, bind that on, and that should create a nice neat wing. Okay, next we're going to put on an orange and a yellow badger hackle. We'll put on the yellow first. So pick one out. Strip off the portion we don't need, and double that hackle. Now you can use straight yellow hackles or straight orange hackles if you want. It's like the effect that the badger gives you. So as before, nipped off the tip, left a little bit of the stock with a few fibres. I put a turn on to tie it on, fold it back on itself. Now I'm going to wax my thread there. And take that forward. Now I'm going to wind on nice touching turns my yellow hackle. A couple of turns, fold it back on itself, tie it off. Now, next is jungle cock. You could have put the jungle cock on at the front if you feel like it after the two hackles. You can put it on before you put either of them. It depends how masked you want it to be, but in general the fly is tied putting the jungle cock on after the first hackle. So I take a jungle cock and I strip off the bits I don't want. attach that onto the side. Now, same for the far side. Strip off the unwanted bits. And set the feather up. Tie it in slightly longer than the first side, and then when you turn the fly with the rotational portion of your vise up, you can use these tie-in ends just to pull it forward until they're both the same length. Then I'm going to nip those off. I'm going to put on a little run of super glue, very thin, along my thread. Wrap back so that there's at least one wrap just touching the jungle cock here, and that'll stop it from sliding. Front hackle on this one is an orange badger. So pick a feather, strip it off, and as before, double the feather. Now, doubling hackles is not 100% necessary, but it does make the whole thing a bit neater. Snap that off. Choosing to snap this off for length of fibre. If you just tie it in by the very tip, you'll have some very short stuff, and you have several more wraps on and a more bulky fly by the time you're finished. So, as before, tie it in by its tip and fold it. A little bit of wax, and then wrap forwards. Just making sure all of those fibres are away. Then I tie off that hackle, fold it back on itself, and trim off the waist. So now I'm just going to use my finger and thumb and squeeze the tie-in points of that to get everything in line. And that's the fly finished. It just needs its head sorted. So I'm going to take my super glue and run it along a couple of inches of my thread. And that'll allow me to make a nice neat head, which I then finish off, or whip finish if you want. Now again, I'm going to get some super glue on my dubbing needle, and just rotate the fly around. That's what we're doing there. And that is a park shrimp. And when the super glue dries on that, I'll then put a clear varnish, a good clear varnish like Sally Hansen Hard as Nails, on it.